Hey guys, I know I've been pretty quiet here recently. All of our lives have been mostly turned upside down here with all the COVID 19 coronavirus stuff that's going on in the world. And most of you probably know, just from the content here on the site, that, I struggle too myself with mental health. I've dealt with depression and anxiety since I was in elementary school, and oddly enough, ended up having to go off of my depression medication at the beginning of this year because I got diagnosed with lupus, and the medication that I take for the lupus I couldn't take with my depression meds. So I joke with my therapist that this was a really horrible time to decide to come off of my depression meds. But despite all of that, counseling has given me a great toolbox of coping skills. And that's not to say that things haven't been hard and that things haven't been challenging, but I'm definitely coping a lot better than I would have if this would have happened 2 years ago. So I'm really thankful for the timing, at least, that I'm in a much better place in my life right now. I've been worried about you guys and definitely been praying for you guys. I haven't heard of anyone in the group that has been affected by COVID yet, outside of just, day-to-day life. But know that you're not alone. And if you guys need something, please reach out. I've kind of tried to avoid posting a lot of stuff about the coronavirus just because every time you get on social media, like, it's everywhere. And I've even had to try to limit how much I'm exposing myself to social media right now, because the more I see the news, the worse my anxiety gets. And that's no good. So a good self-care activity that I do is avoiding Facebook. Instagram seems not to be as bad, but Facebook is definitely worse. That being said, I do enjoy being informed. I want to know what's going on, what the news is, but I don't want to stay there and to dwell in it. And I would encourage you guys to limit your intake of news that's on social media concerning the virus. I know for me, one of the most important things that has happened through counseling, through therapy, has been establishing routines, because routines are really important when you're talking about your mental health. And a lot of my routines involved me not being at home, because I tend to get more depressed and kind of shut down when I stay at home for too long. So with all of the shelter in place orders and whatnot that are going on, that's definitely a problem. And so I've had to establish some new routines. And interestingly enough, I feel safe at my home, and I enjoy being at my home for the first time in years. I can't even tell you the last time I've felt comfortable being at home. But I would encourage you that if your routine is upset, which I know a lot of you guys have upset routines, to establish something new and set a schedule for yourself. Try to wake up at the same time in the morning. Go through the same set of things each day. Like, set a schedule for yourself, and make sure that you're including some self-care sort of activities in there. If it's sitting at the piano and learning how to play a new song, or working on a puzzle, I don't know, any of the things that you guys might enjoy to do for fun, like, include those in there, because a lot of us are wearing a lot of hats right now. You're not just working from home, like you're also having to teach your kids and so I know that it's hard, but it's important to make time for yourself. I didn't really know exactly where this was going to go when I started recording, but I just wanted to give you guys a chance to hear my voice, to hear from me. I'm doing really well. Thankfully, haven't gotten sick yet, and praying that that's not going to happen. Cooper's doing great. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear how you're doing. If any of you need anything, please reach out for help. If you're having a hard time right now, it doesn't necessarily have to be me, but reach out to somebody. Make sure that you're not isolating yourself. Make sure that you're still talking to people. Message them on Facebook, FaceTime somebody. Just talk, because a lot of us are kind of caught up in our own world right now, and we think because we're not hearing from people that they don't care about us, but that's not true, because they're all caught up in their worlds too. So if you reach out, not only will it help you, but it's going to help them. So I'd encourage you guys to do that. All right. Well, I'm going to head out for tonight, but it's April 2nd if you're just hearing this. It's about 10 o'clock at night right now. So if you found this helpful or interesting, let me know, and I'll try to do some more of these. I haven't really felt much like writing recently. I haven't really written any blog posts. I did write one probably about a month and a half ago, and then after some careful consideration, I decided not to post it. But I do want to keep creating materials for you guys that might be beneficial or encouraging based off of some things that I've learned. I got a cool new book that's called The Inner Voice of Love, and I don't know if I can pronounce this guy's name, but it's Henry Nouwen. Anyways, it's an older book, but it's really great, and it's about this guy. I think he was a priest that went through a really dark season in his life where he had to rely on, people, leadership in the church, and like therapy and counseling to kind of get out of a dark season. And what he would do after his sessions would be to kind of write a little note to himself to kind of remind him of what he learned in his session. And this stuff is freaking amazing. I read some of these chapters. They're not meant to be like sat and read all at once. It's meant to, for you to kind of sit with one for a while. But I read some of this stuff and I'm just blown away at the content. Like, it's amazing. I'll post a link to the book on Amazon and in the comments for the video. But anyways, I'd highly recommend you guys get that, especially if you've ever been to a therapist or a counselor or sought any sort of help from Christian leaders. Like, it's some amazing content. All right. Well, you guys have a good day, and I hope you guys are making it. Bye.